Hey guys, DD the Man here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my first Nickelodeon rant. And so I'm pretty much going to giving you my. This isn't really going to be a rant as much as me giving you my thoughts on how Nickelodeon is doing these days as of April 3rd, 2013. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I want to go ahead and start off with shows that aren't really running on Nickelodeon anymore. Which the first show is iCarly, and guess what? I actually really did like iCarly. It was a good show. It had a it really was a good show, and am I sad to see it go? Yes, I am a little bit sad to see it go, but again, it did have a good run, and it did have a good ending. Even though some of the episodes got a little weird towards the end, I really did like the show. And even though I really hated that special, not the season finale special, but the special before that, with Gibby's pants falling down on live television, that was just stupid. That was a stupid special. That has to be like the worst special that Nickelodeon, or at least one of the worst specials that Nickelodeon has ever put out. That was idiotic, but other than that, the show is a great show, had a good run. I'm a little sad to see it go, but it had a good ending, so thumbs up to that. Okay, next let's go and move on to Victorious. And guess what? I really did like this show too, but I am extremely sad to see this show go because I just liked it so much. Because actually, again, I actually do like this show more than I do iCarly, and this show just didn't get a it just ended because the last episode was the episode where the gang has to say yes to whatever anybody says or asks them to do or something like that. But that's just not an episode to end a series on. I really wish that they'll Victorious will come back and they'll do a proper ending for the show. Because I really do like Victorious, and heck, I can sit here and name my favorite 3 episodes of Victorious right now, but I'm just going to save time and go ahead and move on to the next thing. Which the next show is How to Rock, and How to Rock only had around 26 episodes. And my thoughts on this show is that I saw around half of them, I saw around half the episodes to the show, and I think it's better than some of the shows that are running on Nick right now. In my opinion, it held my attention. I thought it was funny in some places, and I really did like it. And there's nothing really much to say about the show other than I thought it was okay, and I'm not really sad to see it go or anything like that. So whatever. So let's go ahead and move on to some live action shows that are actually still running on Nickelodeon. Which the first one I'm going to talk about is Big Time Rush, and guess what? I actually like Big Time Rush too. I don't know why. I do know why. It's because it has that cartoonish side to it, I guess, and then wacky things happen, and all sorts of things happen that are really funny, make me laugh. It keeps my attention during the show. It's interesting to me. I just like Big Time Rush, so thumbs up to that. Okay, next show is House of Anubis. Never seen it, don't care about it, don't have an opinion on it. On to the next show. Which we're going to go ahead and start talking about some cartoon shows. So first off, let's go and talk about the big one, SpongeBob. And I pretty much feel the same way that everybody feels about SpongeBob. I like the older episodes more than I do the newer episodes. But even though I like the older episodes more than the new episodes, I'll still sit down and watch a new episode of SpongeBob just because it's SpongeBob. It's SpongeBob. Everybody likes SpongeBob, or at least most people like SpongeBob. It's just one of those shows you can just sit down and watch. So even though I don't like the newer episodes that much, I'll still, if there's a new episode being announced, I'll sit down and watch it just to watch it because it's SpongeBob. Even though I wish newer episodes were better, again, my opinion is pretty much the same as everybody else when it comes to SpongeBob. Okay, on to the next show, which is Robot and Monster. And I've only seen bits and pieces of this show, and what I've seen, it just seems like another Fanboy and Chum Chum to me. And what I thought about Fanboy and Chum Chum is that it was an okay show. Some episodes were good, but most episodes were really bad, and that I can just care less about. But I haven't really sat down and watched episodes of Robot and Monster, so I don't really have a big opinion on it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next show, which is Penguins of Madagascar. And I actually do like this show. I really do like this show. It's just interesting because the penguins are one of my favorite parts to the Madagascar movies, and to see a whole show based off them is really cool. And the thing with penguins nowadays is that I haven't really been keeping up with the show lately, and I just haven't been keeping up with any of the newer episodes that have been coming out, and I haven't really seen any new episodes being announced lately either. So I don't know. Maybe if they start up showing episodes again, I'll start keeping track of them this time around. But until then, I'll just be waiting. So next show we're going to talk about is Fairly Odd Parents. And I feel around the same way about Fairly Odd Parents as I do about SpongeBob. I like the older episodes more than I do the newer episodes. And, I really hope that the series gets better because they're coming out with some new episodes sooner or later because the KCA's the Kids Choice Awards were around a week ago as a recording of this video, and they announced that they're going to be coming out with some new episodes of Fairly Odd Parents. So hopefully those will be good. I'll sit down and watch them, judge them, do my thing. So Fairly Odd Parents, I feel the same way about you as I do about SpongeBob. So let's go ahead and move back to some live action stuff. The next live action show we're going to talk about is Power Rangers Megaforce. And the only thing I've seen about Power Rangers Megaforce is that I've seen maybe 2/3 of the first episode, and it just seems like the same old Power Rangers to me. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not. It's Power Rangers. How are you going to hate on Power Rangers? Power Rangers is Power Rangers. So let's go ahead and move on to the next show, which is Marvin Marvin. And I've seen very, very little of this show. I've only seen maybe bits and pieces of it, and what I've seen, I am not very impressed with this show at all. I can care less about it. I can care less if it goes. I can care less if it stays. That's just my opinion on Marvin Marvin. So maybe I'll sit down and watch an episode and give me my full opinions on it. I don't know. So let's go ahead and move on to the next show, which is Super Ninjas. And I actually really did like Super Ninjas. And actually, I still do like Super Ninjas. But right now they have some new episodes out right now. But I just haven't been able to sit down and sit my way through an episode. It's just, I don't know. It's not that the show's bad. It's just I'm just not as interested in it as it used to be because it's been gone for so long. And now that there's new episodes out, it's just like, I don't know what to do with this show. But again, so my overall opinion about Super Ninjas is that I really do like the show. I'm glad it keeps going, but maybe one day I'll get back into it. So let's go ahead and talk about the game show that they have on Nick nowadays, and that's Figure It Out. And I've seen very little to figure it out. I've seen less Figure Out than I have Marvin Marvin. And from what I've seen, it seems like an okay show. It seems like just a normal Nick game show, I don't really have an opinion on it since I haven't really seen too much about it. So I think the last live action show that they have on Nickelodeon, I'm pretty sure, is Wendell and Vinny, and I've seen very little to this show too. But what I've seen is that this show needs to be on Nick at Night. This is a show that shouldn't be running with Marvin Marvin and Super Ninjas on Saturday nights. It should be on Nick at Night because from what I've seen, it has some adult related content that just shouldn't be on Nickelodeon, Like, I'm pretty sure they said the word hell once or twice while I was watching. I looked up at the screen like, what? This is normal Nickelodeon, not Nick at Night. This shouldn't be here. And then the episode I was watching, one of the episodes I was sitting there watching, or seeing bits and pieces of because I was half but paying attention to it, is when this one goth chick walks in from out of nowhere, and Wendell, which I think is the kid, opens the door to let her in. And he's like, "Ooh, you smell of cigarettes," and she replies, "That's not cigarettes that you smell." So that's a weed joke right there. So it's like, Nickelodeon, no, this should be a Nick at Night show. And so to continue on with the show, later on in the show, I think she walks into the kitchen and she asks for some beer, and it's like she's so underage drinking because the goth girl can't be 21. She doesn't look 21 at all. And again, she's asking for beer, so underage drinking, Nickelodeon? Really? So, yeah, later on in the show, there's a prostitute-related joke, too. So it's like, wow, Nickelodeon, what are you doing? Again, I'm going to say this again. This show should be on Nick at Night. And that's all I have to say about that. And the next thing I want to talk about real fast is Nick Studio 10. And that's recording this video. It's gone, but I heard it's going to be coming back. But I really hope it stays gone because it got them. When I was watching Nickelodeon and it interrupted my episodes of SpongeBob, I was a little PO'd. So that's all I have to say about Nick Studio 10 is that it needs to stay gone. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to the animated stuff. And that is Kung Fu Panda. And actually, in the beginning, I actually did like Kung Fu Panda, but as the shows went on and the episodes came out, I kind of got out of it. It's just too much of a wait between new episodes for me to be into it. That's just my opinion. I just can't get back into it now. But it is a good show from what I've seen. Because again, I actually did like this show. I just haven't been able to get back into it. Next show is their newest show, which I think is their newest show, and that's Rocket Monkeys. And I have not seen a bit of this show, so I don't have a thing to say about this show. So let's go ahead and move on to the next show, which is TMNT, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And do I like this reboot? Yes, I actually do like this reboot. I really do. I didn't think I was gonna. I didn't honestly. Again, I really didn't think I was gonna like this reboot, but it has. It's a good show. I don't care what anybody says about it. It's a good show. It has all the action that you want. Has the comedy. It's not overboard. It's just a good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle show, and that's pretty much what I have to say about it. Okay, next is Tough Puppy. I've seen a few episodes of Tough Puppy, and then most of the time I just see bits and pieces of it because I can care less about this show. It seems like an okay Nickelodeon show, and I'm just not interested in it. So on to the next thing, which I think is the last animated show that Nickelodeon has, and that is Legend of Korra. And I freaking in love with Legend of Korra. I love Legend of Korra. Did I already tell you that I love Legend of Korra? It just has all the action that you want, has a good story, and I just can't wait for the second season to come out. So, again, love Legend of Korra, can't wait. And so this pretty much brings an end to my Nickelodeon rant. That's pretty much my thoughts on Nickelodeon these days. Nickelodeon seems to be doing okay, but it can also be doing better because it got rid of some shows, and the shows they have on, some of them I just can care less about. For my ending thoughts is that if you guys want me to do like a Pacific rant on a Pacific show that they have, like actually sit down, watch a few episodes of a show, and then give my honest opinion of the show, then I will. Like I said before, like I haven't seen too much of Marvin, so if you guys want me to, leave a comment down below, and I'll do my Pacific rant on Marvin, or a Pacific rant on Wendell and Vinny, or a Pacific rant on Robot and Monster, because those are shows I haven't really sat down and watched. And if you guys want to hear my honest opinion of them, just leave a comment down below. And again, this has been DJ the Man. Hope you enjoyed this rant, and be looking forward to my next rant, which should be my Disney Channel rant. Catch y'all next time.